Niggas and bitches, money and clout are not the same. Make sure you get some money because clout don't pay bills.
What's up? It's your girl Ariahsavage. If you're new, comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate you for fucking with me. Alright, so I am on this bench of recording videos. I've been inspired. I've been watching enough people's YouTubes, and I'm just gonna keep doing this shit how I want to do it. A lot of shit be on my mind, and I be wanting to get it off, but a lot of times I don't do it in the moment. So I'm gonna start being more consistent and doing it in the moment now. What I want to talk about right now is when you are walking your path. Okay, so walking your path for me basically means that you do things. Okay, let's back up. What is your path? Your path, in my opinion, is basically something, or is basically your alignment, your destiny of things you're supposed to be doing because of the celestial being you are. Meaning, your spirit chose its avatar, and it is your job to kind of go through things and situations you're supposed to learn from, and they're supposed to keep directing you on your path. A great example of a path is when Buddha left his kingdom and he went on a pillage to see how other people were living. He inevitably walked his path and, eventually died doing what he was destined to do, which was reach people, show them how to be selfless, caring, righteous, and to basically keep the universe, or God first. So, now that we're all caught up on path, great. So for me, my path is, well, let me say this. For me, I did not recognize this until I started analyzing certain situations and circumstances I was getting into. And I started focusing my energy on wanting to improve and be a better human. So when I started doing that, I didn't realize I was tapping into my path. And from the time you're born, you are actually on your path. It's just that you have this kind of like self awakening or epiphany moment where you realize, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Not even what I'm supposed to be doing. That's a lie, because we still don't know. You kind of get a sense of when things go the way they're supposed to be going. Like, okay, this is like a confirmation, from God. Like, okay, I'm doing the right shit. You feel me? So basically, since last year, a bunch of like traumatic, bullshitty ass stuff has happened. And I say traumatic because a lot of times the shit that I go through when I tell people, they get moved to tears or they start to feel some type of way, whatever. For me, it's not that serious because I've gone through it, and if I'm fucking here telling you it's not that serious, but everybody has their way of dealing with things. So going through different things that I went through last year, what I started to do was I first started to analyze what the fuck was going on, and my number one thing was I didn't have stability. And I did not have stability because I was looking for others to provide stability, whether it be emotional, mental, financial, just any type of stability where my black ass wasn't having to do it. That's what I wanted. So I projected that, and I was getting it right the fuck back. I was getting stability, but on other people's time. And that's the thing about it. When you're an adult and you have to depend on other people, they don't give a fuck about your time. They may start off and intend to, but shit, life goes on and niggas gotta keep it moving. So I just jumped from situation to situation, seeing that, okay, none of this shit was working. And what I started to do, I started to analyze myself and see why I was in these circumstances. Meaning, okay, I'm staying here with this person. Why? What trail of events led me to this? So once I started doing that, analyzing situations, boom, I started looking at the people in my life. Meaning that I started analyzing and seeing if they were needed for my journey. One of my favorite quotes, RP to that nigga Nipsey, he says, small circle, everybody can't go. So that's some real shit. Meaning that, I'm moving on and going on in my path in life, and some of the people that I've accumulated, well, most of the people I accumulated along the way were fucking narcissists. And as you know, if you've been on my channel, that's because I'm a fucking empath. And being an empath is not a bad thing. It's actually like a power. But you have to know how to use and activate your powers effectively. Because if you don't, that shit can really backfire and be on some dumb shit. So going through my path, I started eliminating people, and I didn't. None of this was done by myself. All of this was done with the help of God, because without God, I would be dead. You feel me? I was suicidal. I was drinking, not taking care of myself, and doing a bunch of stupid, self-destructing things. And I feel like, God will let you do that, but for so long. But when he feels like, he needs to kind of step in and show you, like, God will show you what your path is in little ways, but you have to be able to decipher, like, all right, this is happening because it is. Because a lot of times people, we have distractions. We got people, liquor, drugs, um, relationships, family, friends, and all that. It can take you and will take you away from your path, and that's what it's designed for. But you have to be able to balance in this matrix and really be able to focus on you and be able to deal with other people. Because even if you're not a people person like myself and you don't like people, you still have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis when you go out to handle business. Unless you like are agoraphobe and you just stay in the house and you don't go anywhere. That's a whole other fucking video. I almost got to that point when I was working at home from home, and that's another big reason why I don't like being at the house, because I saw how weird that shit was making me. Anyway, I started eliminating people on my path, and I just noticed that everyone that I came in contact with on my path, they all had a purpose. Meaning that it was a stepping stone onto me becoming a more self-sufficient, independent, strong person, because God never puts anything on you that you can't handle. Your weak ass has to really be strong and fight through that shit, because if you don't fight for something, what do you have to lose? Who cares? So God started helping me eliminate people and put me in certain situations and circumstances where I had to choose myself. What I noticed is that when you start to change in a good way and you are no longer a yes man or woman, you will lose a lot of motherfucking people. And it really doesn't matter at the end of the day if you do or don't, because who is for you is for you. If somebody's going to be around, bitch, they're going to be around. They're not going to, you're not, this is how it works with me with people. If it's hard to keep you in my life, I don't want you, because it's too much work. Only person we should be working for is ourselves and God. When you're working for yourself, you're working for God. And if that's not the case, you don't need that person in your life. People with all these fucking problems, always only calling you when they need something. And I used to value myself on being that person that people call and talk to and shit. But I realized it got old because I was drained, and I would always feel like really tired. And just, I don't know, like when it came to dealing with myself, I'd rather just smoke and go to sleep. You feel me? Because I get so drained from dealing with other people's shit. So a friend of mine years ago, but I found out that she's a narcissistic bitch. But she did give me some good advice. She told me that I needed to date myself. But she's a narc, so she definitely took that and ran with it as far as it's applied to her. But for me, I simply started doing things for myself that I would want a mate or a partner to do. And I say mate or partner because I identify as pansexual, so it could be male or female for me. But even if you're not pansexual, just when you choose people in your life, if they're not, whatever sexuality you are, if a person is not doing things that you would normally do for yourself, and if they're doing things that are out of character and make you feel uncomfortable, stop fucking with that person. And if you can't immediately stop fucking with them, you need to evaluate why is this person in your life and why are you dealing with their shit. Because 9 times out of 10, it's because you don't want to deal with your own shit. So God was working on eliminating a bunch of people from my life, and I just realized I was getting into it with everybody. And not really getting into it, but when I started speaking up and not being no yes woman, I started noticing, a lot of things changing in people. Like, oh, so you're not a pushover. No, I'm just really nice, and I can tolerate a lot. Because when you are raised by someone who is narcissistic, you're taught to take shit and smile and let the shit go. So I'm kind of used to it, but just because I'm used to it doesn't mean that I want to necessarily deal with it all the time. So for me, eliminating people was really alleviating, because it got to the point where I didn't care anymore who had to go. I just feel like if they have to go, they're going to eliminate themselves, and that's just going to be it. So once the people started leaving, I started realizing, like, damn, I only got me to fuck with. And I just kept doing the work. When I get sad, I didn't call anybody, didn't text. I would do things like write. And, I tried to write, but really the biggest thing for me was literally sitting and having conversations with God. Because for me, I don't really have anybody to talk to because I'm talking to a fucking camera. But even when you do have somebody to talk to, people don't always get you. But God always gets you no matter what. So really through this journey, it's been a situation of me identifying my situation and circumstances, God helping me eliminate people, and then the elimination of people because they're a distraction, getting rid of that, and then just dealing with me allows me to really deal with myself. So going through all of this shit, it really showed me my inner strength. It showed me my insecurities. It showed me things I need to work on. And it also showed me things that I have worked on and things that I have done and where I'm at. Like, I manifested the apartment that I'm in. I manifested the city that I live in. I manifested the car that I have. I manifested having the kind of job that I have. And when I say all these things, I'm not bragging. You just have to do that for yourself to keep yourself in constant reminder. Because when you are an empath or someone who's been through abuse, a lot of times you do this self-beat up and this self-doubt shit. But to counteract that, you have to tell yourself what is good and what you are doing. Because if you feed into the bad, that'll become a habit, and then that can become toxic, and it just becomes a whirlwind of, like, being put on a reel. And once you're on that reel, if you've been on that reel, you know what I'm talking about, it's hard to get off. So I'm saying all this to say, I've been walking my path, and I've basically been staying to myself and really getting inner peace and eliminating situations that are stressful. And I'm not perfect, so there are times where I engage with people and it may turn around and be a negative scenario, but it's never, lately it hasn't been negative to where it's compromising my mental or my situation, meaning that I have the option to either continue to deal with something or to eliminate it because it's not healthy or working. And a lot of times, if I have to argue with the person to get my point across, I don't want to deal with them. If I have to overtalk you to get my point across, I don't want to deal with them. Just pretty much, if it's not easy, sorry, my back is motherfucker. If it's not easy for you to deal with someone, you maybe want to reevaluate why you're even fucking with them. So I feel like going through 2020 of last year, for me and a lot of people, I feel like it was a growing point. And I feel like if a person constantly said, this year is hell, shit's not going right, they missed the train for self-growth, self-improvement, and being a better human. Because if you want to sit and wallow in self-pity and have it to where, you're feeling bad for yourself, there's no growth in that. You're going to always, 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 always have it to where you're going to feel sorry for yourself. That becomes a habit. You're going to attract people that feel sorry for themselves. Then y'all are creating a realm of situations and circumstances where it's just a bunch of low vibe ass shit I don't want to deal with. I sent my YouTube video to a family member, and if they watch this, that's fine, because I am over trying to express my feelings, and I'm sick of them being demeaned. So maybe watching YouTube and me talking to a fucking camera, they'll finally understand, the things that you say are not really, they're okay, but they're not really needed. Like Big Bank said, he said something so fucking real. My nigga said, if you have something to say that's hateful, keep that shit to yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to help me. I'll give you an example. I sent the video to a family member, and they said, oh, the video's good, but you need to add funny clips in between. First of all, you should have stopped if the video was good. You could have told me, you could have suggested to add the clips, but telling me that I need to add clips to make my video better, that's passive aggressive. It's like, oh, this is cute, but it could be better. I would rather the person have said nothing. And I told them blatantly, I just started teaching myself to edit, and that's not my focus. And they didn't say anything because there's nothing to say. Like, my focus is not to put funny ass clips because that's what you like seeing on YouTube. And to me, that shit is corny. Everybody that vlogs, they normally in between them saying shit will put clips of like their expression of how they feel. That's fucking corny to me. I don't want to do that. I mean, I might sporadically have it if I feel like it's necessary, but I'm not gonna go look for gifts to put up in between me saying something and how I feel. That to me is corny. That shit is play. Everybody that's a vlogger on YouTube, most of the people do it. If they're not like a big vlogger that has a following and doesn't need that shit, most people, I'm not doing that. So I'm sorry, I'm getting hot talking about it because I don't like people say stupid, insensitive shit. Oh, that's a pipe. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So for me, I basically, took what they said in consideration, and I basically told them like, okay, I didn't even say anything. I just said what I said. I simply said that's not the direction I'm going in right now, and I thought about that, but I appreciate, the take back. They didn't say nothing about my material. They didn't say anything about the subject matter. They simply said it's good, but you need to add. I don't want to hear that shit. To me, that's hate. My question is, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you doing anything out of your comfort zone? Are you being transparent and putting yourself on a platform to where you're going to be judged? Are you living your life through a phone? No. And if you haven't even taken the steps to do that, how can you make a comment about what somebody should or shouldn't do? So it's like, I appreciate it, but I don't need the dumb shit. So that was the whole point of me making this video. When you're on your path, shit like that is going to happen. You're going to get people to say stupid ass shit. And I was watching this other girl, and she was getting mad about, people saying negative shit. But like, I put in the comments and told her, you gotta not feed into that shit. And I'm not even feeding into it. I'm not giving that person no shout out, no clout. No, the person that I'm talking about is calling. That's the devil. I'm not finna stop recording because this is what I gotta get off. When you do YouTube, it's a lot. You're on here putting yourself out. You're worried about what you look like, what someone's gonna say, and all that. Fuck all that. I'm being transparent and living my truth. And until I get the editing and all that shit I want to be, this how these bitches gonna be. So someone telling me that, my video is okay, but you need to add this, you need to add that, that's fine. But my thing is, where's your video? Where's your transparency? Can I see some real shit for a minute? Because that's all I'm on. And I'm not mad at the person, and I even feel guilty saying this on this video, but it is what it is, and I really need to stop that habit. I shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to express myself because someone hurt me or made me feel offended. I shouldn't feel like that, and that's fucking retarded. I need to stop. I need to live my truth, and that's the truth I'm living. The person offended me. I addressed it, and I moved on, but I'm addressing it here because this is what I used to vent. So the point of this whole video, like I was saying before I went on that fucking tangent, is that when you're on your path, you're going to get people to hate and say negative things. Keep going. Keep going. Keep recording. Keep writing. Keep making music. Keep making beats. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because that's going to make these motherfuckers hate. And either it's going to make them hate to the point where they got to watch you, or it's going to make them hate to the point where they feel like they got to compete and try to do some shit. And that's great, because I want these motherfuckers that don't got shit going on to get their ass up and do some shit so they can stop fucking with me and people like me that are good people and we're just trying to live their motherfucking life. And that's really all I wanted to say on this bitch. Your path is your path. When you have certain situations and circumstances that happen, please don't be the victim and feel sorry for yourself. Really sit your bitch ass down and analyze, like, okay, why the fuck is this happening? What can I do to make this not happen? And how in the future can I prevent this from happening? And if you can focus on those three things right there, you're gonna be good. People say hateful shit, doesn't fucking matter. Let them say it. People say negative shit, doesn't fucking matter. Let them say it. And here's the thing. If they're saying negative things, clearly you're doing something correct. Because for them to take time to have a negative, clouded, low vibe thought means that they are deflecting or projecting onto you that they don't have anything going on and they just want to make you feel like shit, because they're not doing what they feel like they should be doing. And that's what I had to say. If you fuck with this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all for fucking with me. I'll talk to y'all later.